Yes. Good morning.
Hello, everybody, once again. So, Edyta, could you please tell us more about the project? How did it start, and why did you decide to do it?
Okay, of course. Actually, I'm the kind of project person, and I do a lot of projects. Not only this kind. This was one of my biggest, right? This was one of my biggest. And why? Because I noticed that my students actually have no real motivation to speak, because they don't actually learn the language in, I would say, natural environment. Of course, in the class, I'm trying to create such situations and environment for them to learn as close to the natural situations as possible. But the motivation is still like, they don't realize what they learn for. And I tried to contact teachers first, from on some multicultural, languages group. I tried to contact them for a letter exchange, because I thought that this will be the first step to connect to the world. And we really did that. We really did exchanges with so many countries. And then I didn't have the project. I just did that because I noticed that it's very profitable for them, useful for them, and they really try hard. They really meet friends from different countries. And first we were sending real paper letters, and then we started sending like emails, right? We started emailing each other. And yeah, I think this was a great experience for my kids, for their parents, and they were all really happy. My kids started trying harder, yeah. And I thought, what about connecting them online and actually speak? And I think that this COVID thing really helped us to start doing it, because when we all switched online, I thought, these lessons are so useless. We lost a lot due to switching to online lessons from our classrooms. We miss a lot having online classes, and I decided that we must improve it somehow. And I decided that if we have online classes anyway, we should like turn it into like something good. And I decided to create a group then, in which we could connect to the teachers from all over the world, and in which we could arrange meetings. And that was basically the start. And I didn't know that, I didn't expect it will develop, because it was supposed to be just for me and a few teachers, right? And then it like developed on a large scale. So yeah, that's basically how it started.
Okay, great. And in this process, when you decided to start the group in Facebook, how did you manage to accept teachers from all over the world? Did you accept all kind of invitations, or do you have any I don't know, aspects to consider in order to accept them to the group, or how was it?
Of course, I had some question, but you never are sure who is coming into the group, because you can ask question: are you a teacher? Are you an English teacher? Where do you work? And so on. But you still don't have you're not sure. You can be sure who is on the other side. And accepting those people, I wasn't sure that they are teachers, because I couldn't check it anyway, because they were from all different parts of the world. I could just trust them, and I could just warn my group members about the possible dangers of being part of this project, and of being part of the group, and what precautions should they take just to prevent their kids or themselves from from some bad things. Yeah, I could just do that because I never knew if someone I accept is like 100% sure teacher with good, intentions.
That's right, exactly. That was my question. I mean, I think it must be a little bit difficult at the beginning to try to trust on everybody who's joining. And in this process, how was your work as a moderator? Like, how could you describe it?
Uh, Listen, first classes were a mess. Totally, they were a mess because we actually didn't know what we are doing. We just wanted to meet each other. We just wanted our kids to connect and talk to each other. So in the first classes, we just I remember I had the first class with my one of my administrators, and this was Vera from Mexico, and they just met and talked like what are their names, where are they from, what do they like, just random questions, no preparation, and just but they were super great. I really appreciate that those first meetings, despite the fact that they were a mess. They really taught me a lot, and I knew what to do on the next meetings, right? I knew that there must be more structured, that I must be a better moderator, that I must think about the plan, which is, suitable for this kind of lesson. Like that messy lessons. That was great.
We learn from that a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Know that we have to improve every single class.
With every single class, exactly, we are just getting better and better because every single meeting was a bit stressful for me. Even now, when I have some online meeting, it's stressful for me, even though I had like hundreds. So it's still stressful, but every meeting is like you're more professional. It's like with everything in your life. So the more you do something, the more professional you become. So
what about being moderator of teachers? Because this group is composed by teachers, not students. So how was to work with teachers around of the world? How did you feel about it? How was that experience?
This is not my favorite group. I have many groups in Poland, so I have some experience on having groups, and I just followed my heart, I would say. And when I thought, for example, something is a good idea to unite teachers, I just posted that information on our group, and they liked it, and it really motivated me to do it still and still and still. And they really wanted to meet. For example, we had some coffee meetings so that they could get together, get to know each other. And we had some tutorials, how to organize such meetings, so that I wanted this group to be united. I wanted them to have great meetings. And I tried to give them some instructions. But, one person is not enough for such a big group, as it became later, because it's a lot of work. Too much work. Too much work.
The last quantity of teachers that I saw in that group were like 6,000.
Yeah, exactly. 6,000. 6,000, but I think it would grow bigger. I can tell you now why we had to stop the group, freeze it, because it's still the project is still continuing due to my moderators, and because they told me no, don't close it, please, it's a great project. And we had one unpleasant situation, because as I told you, you never know who comes to the group, and there were some guy who really is a stalker. He really destroyed lives of people on this group. So I decided that if something that was supposed to bring joy is bringing I don't know, bad feelings, any kind of bad feelings, I decided that I don't want to be responsible for it anymore, because I created it and this was my initial goal, so that it would be something great, something amazing. But you know, people can spoil everything. Like, I was so disappointed that really, you know, I could have just not pay attention to this situation, but it proved that we can't make our students 100% sure, 100% safe. You know what I mean? That I can't be responsible for the teachers who are reckless enough to invite some people they don't know into their classes. I felt responsible for that because I started the project. So that's why I decided that I don't want to like do it anymore on such a large scale. And if we do that, we should do it like with 100% sure people, because if we don't, such cases like the one we had some time ago can occur, and this is sad.
It was so sad to see how it was paused. But what about continue working with the teachers we already know, the teachers we already have met, that we are
Exactly.
pretty sure they are
I always tell
teachers.
everyone, because people ask me, hey, why did you stop the group? This was such a great thing. And I really I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken, totally heartbroken. I didn't even want to write them back because it hurt. It hurt so much. But listen, I told them that you can still contact them through Messenger. It was just the first step, right? My group and our group just helped you to see what are the possibilities, and now you can continue it on your own, right? So that was my answer, and I think the hardest thing is to start, right? The hardest thing is to start, and then to continue is much better. Yeah.
Wow, yes. And based on your experience, what could be your recommendations at the moment of creating these kind of communities? Because for many of us, is that is a great idea, to start like a community, even in our own local context. Um, but of course, we would like to hear from you which are your recommendations, based on your experience at the
Mhm.
moment of starting a community of practice like this one?
You mean, Claudia, that you want to start such group for teachers, and you want me to give you some pieces of advice how to do it? And yeah, uh, first of all, if you want to start any group, if it's international, you should join the groups. Like, there are some groups of innovative in English teachers. I belong to them. That's why my group became so popular, because I told the people on other huge groups that we have the project, and they got interested. So this is the first step you do, right? When you want to start such thing. And the next thing, you put your whole heart in the project to make it work, because you, for example, have to accept posts all the time, accept people who want to go in, check them more or less if they are okay, because you can't be 100% sure. You have to think how to transform your group, how to make it better, how to improve it all the time, right? um, Mm, because the group must develop. It can't be like that it's the same all the time. It must develop. For example, I started the project Meet My Class, where we at first we met like our students, and then I started project Be My Guest, so that we could invite teachers to be our teacher guests, right? So the group developed. But at some point, I noticed that it takes me too much time, and I decided to ask people if they want to help me to create this community, and I invited those people. So I really recommend that to you, so that you are not alone and you're not doing this alone, but 4 or 5 people. Okay, so this is a good idea to have it like, so that when someone, for example, you can share days of the week, who can accept posts, for example, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on, and who will be the host on the meetings, for example. Yeah, you can have many more ideas if you are in group. I like working individually. I really like working individually, and when some other people come, I'm afraid to, if I think their idea is not good, I'm afraid to tell them, no, your idea is not good. So I say yes to everything because I don't want to hurt their feelings. So me as an individual, I loved having the group, but then when they came, I like moved away. They just approved posts, and they just were on the group, and I told them, okay, this is our group, so you can do whatever you want there, right? But I just became more like silent at that point. Yeah, so that's basically it.
Miss Eddie. And what about during this period of time, did you learn something about the other teachers while having this community open for everyone?
Can you did I find out something more about other teachers, like those who had this group with me? Or
no, every teacher, if you learn something that is something rewarding for your classes or something really interesting that you have learned from them.
Of course, such classes, I always miss the thing that I can like observe someone else's class. Because when you see someone else's class, you can learn a lot. And when I sometimes invited teachers to have class with my students, I could see how they act like during the lesson, right? And I could think, this is okay, this is great idea, and this is not very good, I wouldn't do that, I'm doing the same thing, and I know now that I should avoid it, for example, right? So it really makes you, such experience makes you a better teacher. Definitely it makes you a better teacher, because for example, such meetings, through such meetings, I realized that my students really don't talk much during the lesson, that they should talk more, because there are some students that meet us and they are better speakers, much better speakers than my students. So you have comparison, right? You have comparison, and you know then that you must do something more, right? You must set some higher level. So yeah, that's basically very good experience.
Really interesting. Thank you so much for your answer. And finally, I don't know, Miss Eddie, if you know the impact, or if you are aware of such a big thing you have done with all the teachers around the world, especially because everybody knows I have been working with your group, and because it was your idea, you know, and you came up with this group. And we probably found in that moment, because we were in the lockdown of the pandemic, we found like an answer to our questions. We reinvent our classes, our lessons, and it was amazing because everybody loved, including the teachers. Do you have some plans for the future? No, now, but for the future, about this beautiful community?
I don't know, because of situation I told you about, I started having doubts that such a wonderful thing has, can like function in a proper way on the internet, that we don't know the people who are on the other side. So I had plans, but I'm like that. I have so many ideas, I have so many ideas and so many different ideas that I won't cry for sure that something like this happened. And I'm starting something like thinking about something totally new. right now. So I'm really not focusing on meet my class right now, because it was some episode of my life, but I feel it finished a bit right now, because like this situation stopped like fascination about the project. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I just started thinking that I should develop in other direction, right? So this is like not my purpose. I'm really using this tool still. We are really meeting from time to time with other students from different parts of the world, and I really appreciate this kind of meetings. But you know, I think that I must try something new and new and new every year. I'm just doing something new. This is like what I am, and I can't change it. I never do something like this. Is my, like, I don't know, disadvantage, that I never like finish things. You know, I just I just feel that I started it, but I haven't finished it. So yeah, that's basically what I am, because I'm a good project starter. I like thinking of ideas that people like, that people can use in their lives, right? And then I suddenly, I don't know what to say. In this case, I didn't get bored. I just got mad because of this. Yeah. So I basically have no plans for now, but it of course might change. It of course might change. Maybe I will go back to the project. I will develop it in some other way when I find some way to make it like perfect, to make it like 100% sure, like 100% safe. Maybe I will do something with it. But as for the moment, I started my own language school, and I'm thinking about developing my YouTube channel. I know it sounds funny, but I really like it. I really like making videos, and about making materials, English teaching materials. So yeah, that's basically for this year. I don't know what's gonna be next. So yeah. But you can do, like, you are a teacher, it means you are a teacher, but you can do like thousands of other things, right? Because people think, oh, I'm a teacher and I just teach at school and that's all, right? So no, it's not true. So when you are a teacher, and you can handle this thing, teaching kids and adults and in such different environments, and you know, so you can do everything. You can do basically everything, and you should do everything, because this way you improve yourself, I think. Sorry, this is not the topic of our
It's okay, it's
No, but
perfect. Of course,
yeah.
our topic.
Yeah, so I don't know,
very
maybe.
inspiring to listen to your ideas, and we totally understand the reason why you decided to stop it. And but I'm glad to see that you guys are still having some meetings. I mean, that little group of teachers that you have on the WhatsApp group, they for example invite us to have a meeting yesterday about Jamboard,
Mhm.
and well, that is something really good that they still are connected. And well, that is the also the positive, the good result of all this process.
Mhm.
You
I thought that maybe we could actually organize such a group on Facebook, because it was much better to have it on Facebook than on WhatsApp. It's like not the same. Have to have it on WhatsApp. It's totally different thing. It's We don't have the visuals. We don't have the things that are, for example, the when we talked about our meetings, we had some meeting, we tagged the teacher, and we talked about how was the meeting. That was amazing, right? That was amazing to read that you had fun on such meeting. I think that we could maybe have such group on Facebook started over again, but I think, I don't know, maybe this could be like 10 moderators, and only those moderators could have could, for example, accept their friends, and their friends could ask us to accept their friends, you know, like this, something like this, okay? No random people, because, yeah. So
that's a good idea to have some people or some moderators that help you. And as the group is bigger and bigger, moderators are a key part of the process, right? And some helpers
I don't know.
at
I
different
don't.
parts of maybe.
I don't know how many moderators can there be on Facebook group, because I had 5 was the most, but I think it could be even, I don't know, it could be even 15, 20, 100% sure people who can, for example, you know the people who they are inviting to the group. Yeah, if we have 15 moderators and they invite, each of them will invite 15 people, imagine how big is the group, right? So yeah, so this is like a great idea. So if you want to start something like this, I think I could be the part, something like this. Sure, 100% sure, 100% safe, right? So yeah.
Great.
Okay, thank
So
you.
inspiring.
Yeah, what I Mrs. Edita, what I understand is that this was situation. So the project started right after the lockdown, the COVID-19, or was it before that it was going on?
It started right after the lockdown. Like, it motivated me to, before the lockdown, I met some teachers online, but when it started, when the lockdown started, I started doing it on a larger scale and started the project then. So yeah, that was because of the lockdown. So good thing.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
advantage.
good thing to know because when it started, I living in a remote place and we have a limited connection to internet.
Uh-huh.
So when my school closed for the lockdown, we didn't know what to do. So we started every kind of tries to try to reach the students and try to get them into the development of materials or resources. And at certain points when we started, we felt so alone because the students, some of them, they didn't even have a cell phone to communicate, not even to see a screen or just to receive a call, because our students, they live in remote areas and most of them, they have to go back to their hometowns to get shelter, because nobody knew what would come next when it all started. So I'm happy to. I feel I'm one of the few or the only one, the only teacher that is working on this kind of projects from this region, because first thing we have always here is the access to connection. But then little by little, as people like me get involved, we're showing the others the path. And I think this is definitely what you're doing. You're showing us and then the path, what can be done in platforms or social media like Facebook. Like we never thought it would be coming to I don't even get to Facebook that often, to be honest. Like I don't really I think it's like wasting my time. So every
Yes.
now and then
Yes,
when
it
I get
is.
into that, yes, it is. So every now and then when I get online, I see like one or two pictures maximum, and then I force myself to get out because I really feel I'm wasting my time. I got so many things to check. But now this kind of project comes. I remember when Diana said Facebook, I was like, do I have an account? Like, yes, I do have an account. And then I seen that we can actually make it work. And the students, they love going into Facebook. So I was reading an article last time and something like not going against the current. Like if students, they enjoy being on the phones, so let's take advantage of it. So let's make them realize that the phone can be a tool of learning. So I'm very happy to be here and hear from you. Thank you.
It's really inspiring what you all say, and I really regret that I'm not having it anymore, because it was a good thing. It was a very good thing. Such community is a wonderful thing, but you know, I just feel sad right now when you tell me all these things. But I started even thinking about having the group one more time. But maybe it's just, you know, I'm very emotional person. That's why I do many things driven by emotions. So maybe I will think about it later.
And you can count on us if you want. We admire your work, and we really love these kind of projects as well. That's why we want to systematize and to write about this beautiful project. We are going to be speaking with teachers or participants with the most remarkable and meaningful experiences in this project, and thanks for being part of it, and thanks for inspiring us to continue thinking about new ideas or having new ideas to improve our teaching practices every day, not only us but for many many teachers around the world.
Thank you.
Miss Edi, for accepting this invitation.
Thank you very
We are
much.
so grateful.
Okay, so listen, guys. Claudia, we can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I just wanted to say that we are going to be showing you results. We're going to be showing you all the with what we are doing with the project. Every single step, we would like to let you know how we are doing it.
Okay, so I wish you good luck in your research, and I think it's something really valuable. I didn't expect someone wants to write about it, but it's really valuable thing to connect your students to the rest of the world. They realize many important things then when you just give them the opportunity, right? But I'm telling you, it must be like 100% safe. That's the most important thing, because if it's not, it loses its point.
True, completely true. So as with the time is just over, we need to say goodbye. Thank you for these 40 minutes. We haven't reached our lives. As usual with your meetings, Mrs. Eddy, and we'll let you know our project to read it.
Let's meet with our students one day.
Sure, for sure. We're gonna do it. Thank you so
What
much.
what age is your students, teacher?
My students are 7 to